let's have a conversation. So, I was just re-inspired by myself. I go back through and I'll watch videos that I post because I'm always self-reflective, and there is always an opportunity for growth and deeper understandings of ourselves and who we are and what we're doing and how we're being perceived and how we are perceiving. And so I was just re-inspired by myself to speak on this topic. And that is the cleansing of systems is happening. And it happens in a myriad of ways. The question is, what does that look like for you? Because there are people of higher integrity and higher caliber that operate at a higher octave were being placed in certain systems. Systems of business, systems of culture, systems of the way things have been being done. And the question that I have for you is, what are you doing to cleanse that system? Like what is it that you are bringing into that system? Let's go why. Why are you being placed into that system? Like, what is it that you have to offer that system? Because I'm gonna speak here that if you are a person of higher caliber, you do not continue to perpetuate illness, and you don't continue to perpetuate insanity, and you don't continue to perpetuate the multitude of distortions that have been systematically in place. And so what is it, this right here, this space, let's chew on it for a minute. If you are placed in a space, let's say you get hired for a position, or you're put in a position, what is it that you are bringing to that space? You're bringing who you are. And how can you, as who you are, recalibrate that space? We do create our reality, and that happens through actions and choices and the steps, the physical steps. What is it that you are bringing into that environment, that which you have been placed in? Everything is you ask for certain things, you emit certain things. Sometimes you're placed into an environment because you are the person that is there to help all of those people recreate the way that they've been living, to resystemize. Because we're not going to say, when we say, let me speak here, when we say things like, oh, take down the system, no, it has to be recalibrated. You don't take something down, you recalibrate it. It has to be something new. It has to be a new system. It has to be a new space of operation, the continuation of a system. But what system? That's the question. What? What is the system? And what is the continuation that you are bringing into the environment? And I'm going to tell you, it doesn't matter what position it is that you hold in this moment, because when you operate, look, I lived in my car for almost a year and still held myself at higher integrity, still held myself with higher honor and self-respect. and still lived at a higher octave and still listened to God and still did the steps that I was given to do to recalibrate my life. And that space was both a result and an opportunity, because you come into these spaces of the in-between. You are in one space, and in that space, you ask for new things, or you get tired of something, and you are then presented an opportunity. And that opportunity comes in an unlimited, infinite amount of form. And it is then the question, what are you doing in that new environment? Are you... No. What are you doing in that new environment? What do you have within you that new environment needs to be recalibrated? Like, you're in this new... If you're a person who does your work and is here to deliver something, you're placed into spaces to do that. It doesn't happen it happens to a point, because we're always doing like inner work. Hi Monty. Hi Sharon. We're always doing something. We're always doing some kind of work in some manner. It's either a work of perpetuating or recalibrating and then continuation. And so what is it that you're bringing into that new environment that is yours to deliver? Like, I've been placed into systems that were completely in chaos and recalibrated those systems. I'm talking about business structures. And it's because I am a person who does that within myself. So, there will be something that doesn't feel good. There will be an experience that I don't want to continue having. And then so I look for, what is the thing that's continuing this experience? How do I recalibrate it? How do I shift it? What new steps do we need to do thereafter? Not a one and done. Some things are a one and done, but when you're talking about a system, which is what everything is, okay, this is systematic. Even the human being is a system. Communities are a system. So we're speaking from this space of the well-cultivated skill set of understanding and recalibrating systems. You're placed into a new system. What is it that you are there to do in that system? Recalibrate it. How? And to what? That is the question. To what? Because I'm going to speak from a place of God. All right, let's let God speak here. There are places that you have been called, that have prayed for you. There are people who have, even if that's not what they call it, you can call it whatever you want. There are people who have said, I don't want this to be like this anymore. Do you know what that is? That's a prayer. When you speak something out, it's a prayer. It's an ask. And the answer is always yes. And it comes in a multitude of forms. It's just a matter of what those forms present as. And so there are people that are in the place that you have just been placed in. Be it a job, be it a position, be it a system. You have been placed in that job, position, system, community, relationship, because you are there to do something with it, in it, for it, to it, from it. And what is that? What is it that you are going to do in that space? I'll speak from an actual personal experience of being in the business world in many forms. And that is, coming into like an office, and the office being in chaos to a certain level, and being able to say, okay, so this thing right here is what we're doing to create the chaos. All right, let's do this because this creates harmony. And then this is what we're going to do thereafter, and we're going to tweak it, and we're going to hone it, and we're going to listen to the feedback that's coming from the environment, and we're going to see, does this work? Allow yourself to be able to continue so that that can be sustained, because a lot of times whenever you start something, there's a buffer, there's resistance. There is a space where you have to go through the density that is in that space to get through to the other side. And that is how the system works, because it's cyclical. So you have to continue to do the thing that you know will create harmony in that space. Be it having a different type of conversation with the people that are in that environment. Be it speaking up, being it sitting down and taking a moment and letting yourself see the bigger picture. We're talking about systems and how the systems are being recalibrated. I'm talking about the childcare system. I'm talking about the healthcare system, the way businesses ran, the school system, the family. The system that processes children and people and humans and families. Food, healthcare, mental illness. The perpetuations of those systems is being recalibrated because people like me and people like you who live at the higher octave, higher integrity, higher caliber, yes, you're going to hear it a bazillion times, get used to it, sit down for it, drink it up, because this is what we do here. People like you who do that are being called into systems like that. That's why. Take it in. Give yourself a moment to take it in. Because you matter in those spaces. You having conversations with the people in those spaces is what creates their capability to go forth and live in a higher octave themselves. And that is how we have the better system. We're here to create new systems. That's what it is. The holistic healthcare is rising because the systems that have created perpetual sickness out of survival. I love you too, beautiful. Hi, Christina. The systems that have been created out of survival to keep people in bare minimum survival are being recalibrated because people like me and people like you. And that's what's happening. So I invite you to share what it is that you're doing in your own recalibration of the systems that you're placed into. Share. I love it. I love it. I love it. I want you to share. Like, what are you doing in those systems? What systems are you being moved into to recalibrate? That's what it is. We as people who have said, okay, God, okay, whatever you want to call it, okay, I'm here. Where do I take these gifts, this well-cultivated skill set? Where do I take this love that I cultivate? Where do I take this self-respect and this understanding and this compassion and this capability? Where do I take this? Show me who to give it to, and then you're placed into systems. We're talking about people who operate in higher caliber, okay? This isn't for everybody. What are you doing in that system that's recalibrating it? Tell me. I want to have a conversation with everyone who wants to have a conversation with me. I choose from what chooses me, and that is how I personally have cultivated this beautiful life. Yes, of course, we have days where I'm like, oh my gosh, all right, okay. And that's life. That's life. It's still beautiful. We're still making a beautiful life, even when you have days that feel heavy. It's still beautiful. I still continue to do this work because the results of who I have become in it is an ambiance. It's an aura. When you cultivate a higher caliber, you step into the room and people notice the difference. You have a conversation with someone and it changes the rest of their life. Like, we're talking about actual, factual, real change here. So, what are you doing in your own life that is creating the massive movements that are happening? They're happening. They are happening. So who are you in that space? Dissecting the shadow, willingly sacrificing for a clear understanding of why. Yes, always return to your why. We have many conversations of that here. What is your why? Like, why? Why are you doing this? Standing in the gap to bring the world together. Heavy indeed, I still choose it. Yes, same. Yes. Sometimes it gets heavy, and that's why we have spiritual caliber. That's why we have physical caliber. That's why we have mental caliber, because there is strength here to continue doing what it is that we know we can do. And it doesn't matter if there's a day where fear comes up. It's like, hey, oh yeah, okay, all right. How are we going to work together? How are we going to keep doing this? How are we going to continue? Step forward. There are barriers that you come up to when you live at this octave. They don't stop. You just get better. You just become more understanding. You just become more capable. The things that used to break you and used to shut you down and used to have a power over you that kept you from doing are this small now. And even the big things, I'm telling you, when you operate at this manner, in this space, in this level, the things that you come to would break the version of you that you were 10, 20, 30 years ago. But they don't now. They don't now. And we do this. We continue to do this. What are you continuing to do that has created these beautiful systems that are being completely forthright erected into overnight? Overnight. That's how timeline jumping happens. Is you just choose the reality, and however long it takes you to actually get into that reality is however long it takes you. That's the timeline jump. Hi, Jessie. Wonderful to see you. Thank you. That's how timeline jumping works. I love to mesh the spiritual jargon because, you know, there is that space of operation where some people are stuck. You know, some people are stuck in the spiritual field and cannot ground it into the physical. But there are plenty of people who do. Here we are. Hey. Hello. You ground it into the physical. You do something with it. You create a new system on the planet that is a result of the things that you have been doing, the work that you've been doing. We here in this space are here to create those new recalibrated systems, however that looks, whether you're in business for yourself doing it, whether that's an eventuality, whether that's what you're working for, towards, in, or if you are doing that in the establishments that are already in place. You're the person who goes into that establishment that has corruption, that has distortion, that has destruction, that was built on survival, and you are the recalibrator. So step by step, you recalibrate. You create new plans. You create new systems. You create new goals. You teach the people. Can you handle it? Of course you can. Because this is what we do. Of course you can, because this is what we do. You were born for this. You were bred for this. You eat to feed your environment with this. You are here to present and deliver your caliber, your higher caliber, your higher octave, your higher integrity to the environment that you are called into. That's what you do. And that's why I am speaking it here. It's because you're not alone doing it. I'm not alone doing it. We have counsel. We have support. We have sisterhoods. We have brotherhoods. We have relationships. And those two are coming back together, where there is not one against the other, where we are cohesifying to create union, legacy, to operate outside of the distortion and the survival mindsets that have been overtaking and operating the planet. Thank you, beautiful. Glad to be here too. I'm glad you're here too, because I stated, and what I mean by that is, I mean, my heart came into a space of, I am willing to do this so divinely, so devotedly. And this is many years ago, that I stated that I want to be surrounded by devotees. And what that means is people that we are not afraid to do what we came here to do, to resurrect systematic operations that are built on love and self-respect and higher integrity and higher honor and higher caliber, and restore the family. And sometimes that is gritty. Sometimes people don't like it. Sometimes people who have clung to the systems that were in place in their mind and in their family life, or in their workplace, or in their friend circle. They cling. Sometimes they'll cling. And what happens with, you as someone who operates at higher caliber, you're still going to encounter people who cling. Okay? Because you are the person that's meant to have that conversation with them, potentially, or simply, hey, simply, you may be the person who is loving your life so much in front of these people that they begin to say, I want that. How do I get that? How do I have that? Because you can't cling to hatred and anger and be like jealous of people. You cannot do that and have that beauty that person is genuinely, because that's an aura, my love. That is an integrity. That is an operating system that person is. So when someone is speaking jealousy and they're speaking envy and they're like, hey, I want this thing that you have, you may be the person that teaches them how to get it truly, divinely. You have a conversation with that person about the things that they can update in their reality and those physical, tangible, actual steps to take it, because you did it. You've been there. You're not in the space of jealousy and envy of other people because you have allowed yourself to be rendered so deeply that you have understanding. It's a space higher than compassion. It's a space more involved than just compassion. You have understanding. You can be in the space where people don't know yet. They don't know that answer that you have yet. And they're there for that answer that you have. And you're the one who has the opportunity, the capability. Let's talk about capability. Let's talk about audacious capability, where you know exactly what this person needs to do in their life to recalibrate and step into that which they say they want, and to deliver it to them and be a person of higher integrity, higher caliber, higher honor yourself, to be a support for that person if you so choose, if they so choose from what chooses you. Don't just go out trying to help everybody and anybody because, hey, let's stop trying to exhaust ourselves with the nonsense. Okay? Choose from what chooses you. And cultivate lasting sustainability in that environment with that person. Be it a relationship, be it a friendship, be it a workplace environment, be it a position happening right now. Christina, I would love to hear about your experience in that space, because the things that we have known, and even the uprooting that we have done together, and outside of that, and I would love to hear what's happening. And so you're the person that is in that environment because those people have spoken like, hey, even if this person is in a perceived higher position than you, no. We do higher integrity, higher octave, higher caliber because you're here on orders to do something, to deliver something physically to someone, to something. You're a recalibrator. That's what you are. You recalibrate. And that environment that you find yourself in is the environment that has asked for recalibration. How do you go about doing that? How do you create sustainability in that recalibration? You are already at a higher octave. Like, you're already at the level of having, we're not talking about, hey, you know, I've been doing this for a couple of months. I'm starting to get really good at. No, you've been doing this. Ben. It is so deeply integrated. It's not even an integration. This is who you are. In every breath that you take, in every step that you walk, you are this. And so when you walk in the world that way, when you walk, this is your walk. You're not just talking, this is your walk. When you walk in the world, every step that you take carries weight. And it creates recalibration in every environment that you step in because of who you are. Because you have cultivated yourself to be something. To be something. You don't chase your tail. You're not confused. No, you have cultivated yourself to be something. And to be someone for something. So you're in that environment because it called for you. It called out loud, physically. I can't stand this anymore. Like, this sucks. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this. You don't have to say, hey, God, look, I'm going to tell you right now, this is how prayer works. You don't have to think that you're speaking to God to pray or for something to be delivered to you as response for the thing that you no longer want to have or the thing that you do want to have. You don't have to, it doesn't have to go like this. I'm going to give you a perfect example. God, bring the man of my dreams into my life and let us live happily ever after. It doesn't, prayer doesn't work like that. I'm going to give you a real life example of what prayer looks like when you don't think you're talking to God, when you don't know who you're talking to, and you're not intentionally talking to anyone. Let me tell you. Oh my God, I can't do this anymore. Let's role play, because that's my favorite. I created a role-playing system in a company, and it was phenomenal and had phenomenal results. I love this stuff. That's why I love having conversations. Let's role play. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be me. What year is it? 15 years ago. I'm going to be me 15 years ago. I can't do this anymore. Oh my God, I just cannot do this anymore. I can't do it. I can't do this. Oh my gosh. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Why is this? I cannot do this anymore. I just cannot do this anymore. I'm talking about being in my body, in the illness that was in my body. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I cannot do this anymore. All of the medication that I had to take for the pain that I was in and the sickness that I had, I can't do this anymore. I can't do it. Oh my God, I can't do this anymore. I can't take any more medication. I can't be in this relationship anymore. I can't work this job anymore. I can't do this. I can't do it. I can't. Oh my God, I can't. That's me 15 years ago. And what happened was many people, many situations came to recalibrate me. They came to say, okay, you can't do that. Well, here's an opportunity. Do you want this? Choose from what chooses you. Do you want this? Okay, this is a little better. All right, I'll take this. Okay, these people aren't being so mean to me. Okay, all right. Everybody's so mean to me. Okay, all right. These people aren't being so mean. Okay. Oh, I had an opportunity to have I'm talking about the 4th major surgery to try to fix me. To take more organs out of my body, lost organs. I mean, tangible, physical. This is real. I tangibly, physically lost an organ out of my body. And one of the opportunities that I had presented to me was to have another fourth major surgery to try to fix me. And something in me at that time, I didn't know what it was. I didn't deeply follow God at that time. I just knew that I couldn't get myself to that. I couldn't get myself to the space in multiple measures. I was in survival mode and had to work and couldn't get myself to the place where I could take time off. And I was in a position where I didn't really have a whole lot of support for that. And so I couldn't get myself to it. And not getting myself to that and not choosing that space brought me another opportunity. And that opportunity happened to be the solve. It happened to be the thing that created a trajectory and catapulted me into what many people know as awakening, which is really just the, hey, check it out. There's another way. Are you willing to go through the crap that you have to go through to get there? Yes. Yeah, every day. I'm telling you, okay, I can legitimately say, even in the density, you're still learning. Even in the hurt and the pain, you're still learning. You're still doing your work, okay? So I like to say I researched inside, from the inside out. I researched darkness and sickness and pain and hurt and struggle and strife. I researched it. How do you help people out of things that you have no knowledge, you know nothing about? How do you do that? Right? So I know about those things, which means I can help. Actually, I do have capability, audacity, and a skill set to help. Actually, and not even something that I think. My life is 800 million light years away from what it was 15 years ago because of this skill set, because of this cultivation, because I am the person who does the thing that I know I need to do and continues and shares that with other people that choose it. I'm not out here trying to force anybody to do anything, but if they choose it, here you go. I do have an answer. And no, you don't have to hurt like that anymore. And no, you don't have to keep doing it that way. Hey, here's an easy way. Check it out. This is easy. Check it out. I went through a lifetime of figuring this thing out. Here you go. Silver platter. You want it? Okay. You do have to allow yourself to shift. That's what it takes. You have to shift. You have to recalibrate. It's recalibrating. But you don't have to go through 30 years of horror and distortion and disgust like I did to get it. Here you go. I'm happy to help if you want it, if you're willing, if you're not afraid to do the work. If you're not afraid to step into this space right here that's on a silver platter for you, of course, if you don't want it, cool. That's okay. This is the space we're talking about. This is the space we're at. You, who lives in the higher octave, higher caliber, operates in higher integrity, you are that person that is in those environments. Wherever you go, you are that person that is in those environments. You're coming into a new job. We'll call it a job. If some people are in business. Some people are on their way into business. And some people do that in other businesses. Whatever your path is. Whatever it is. You're still that person. Okay, cool. You don't want to be in business for yourself? Cool, you don't have to. Okay, so, and? Not everybody wants to be in business for themselves. Okay, and? It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It doesn't mean you're not following a calling or following a higher power or, no, everybody needs to do this thing right here. No, you don't. Actually, you don't have to do anything. What is beneficial for you to do is to do what works best for you in the way that it works best for you. So me, for example, I love to work with small groups of people. I love to really hone in and dive deep because that's what we do here. That's what we do here. So why would I go and try to be something that I'm not for someone else who isn't me? That doesn't work. It's not sustainable. We're talking about sustainable, systematic operations. That's not sustainable. And I don't love it. I'm talking about, this is my PhD. This is my PhD. My pure heart's desire, I got a PhD in what I love. I got a PhD in what I love to do. I love to have conversations with people. I love to see the progress that has happened with people over a period of time. I love to build relationships. I love to be intense. And I am. Can you handle it? Of course you can, because you're right here, still listening to what I have to say. You can handle it. You can handle the intensity. I am intense. I love it. I own it. I honor it. Get on the train if you want to. Okay? Here we are. We go. We're going. And I love it. Yeah. Well, so anyone who wants to speak, feel free. Welcome. I'm going to leave it there. I could talk for hours and hours and hours. Me and my closest friend had a 7-hour conversation one time, and we stopped because we had to go to bed. Because we had to. So, I'm telling you, we do this. No, we do it. We really do it. We're here for it. We're here for it. We are here for it. So, I love you. Thank you. I appreciate you. You are why many people are getting to step forward in what they have said that they wanted. You are the recalibration in the environments that you're led to. You are the prayer in whatever way it was spoken that helps to deliver that environment into a new state of being. Just you. That's it. Just you. That's it. You being you. You being who you are is the answer that those people have asked for. So just go be. Go be who you are in those environments that have asked for you. And have a wonderful day. And I'll see you soon.